Hi, Steve. Thanks for coming by. What can I do for you?
Hi, Christine. I have a problem. I have a class coming up that I've always taught seated, but now I have to make it into a hybrid. What do I do?
Well, we have two things we need to think about. First, are you able to use Blackboard or Moodle?
I can use Blackboard a little bit, but I have never opened Moodle.
Okay, well, that's a good start. Now we need to think about your class. You teach history, right?
Yes. This class is primarily about the Civil War.
Okay, so let's think about how a seated class is different from an online class. In a seated class, the instructor is the focus of the class. The information conveyed is gained by listening to the instructor. An online class reverses that, making the student the focus. All information is gained by the student actively participating. So I am going to assume that for the seated portion of the class you plan to continue your normal lectures, correct?
Yes, unless you have a better suggestion.
No, I think that is a perfect use of that time. So let's think about what you can do for the online portion. You know about discussion boards, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. You can use those as a way to have students discuss what you talked about in your lecture. Maybe let them ask questions, or even answer them.
Great idea. What else can I do?
Have you heard of web quests?
No.
Okay, no problem. A web quest is when you give students a task and then they use the internet to find or even discover the answer.
Interesting.
We can look at your topics and see what might be appropriate for that approach. Another activity is to have the students create something like this animated movie.
We're animated.
Yes, of course. But students can create animated characters and make a little movie covering a topic. There are even historical and presidential characters they could use.
Okay, that sounds like it is pretty difficult, and I'd rather them spend the time on the material than setting all that up.
Actually, I think you should try it. It is really easy. All you have to do once you have an account is choose the scene and the characters, and type in the dialogue. Anyone can do it.
Okay, I'll give it a shot.
Another option is to use Second Life. Have you heard of it?
I don't think so. What is that?
It is a virtual world where you can create an avatar and do virtually anything you can do in the real world and more.
HMMM. Well, that sounds interesting, but how would I use it in a class?
Well, this can appeal to different classes for different reasons. Overall, students love it. They feel as though they are playing a game, but you can make it into a learning game. If you were teaching architecture, your students could build things. Acting, your students could perform at the Globe Theatre. World history, they could visit the pyramids, etc. Once we get you to learn Moodle, you can even incorporate it into your class with something called Sloodle. It allows students to participate in chats or takes quizzes in Second Life and they show up simultaneously in the gradebook of Moodle.
Wow, that sounds really neat. So what about the Civil War?
Well, we can go in and take a look and see what we can find.
That sounds great. What other ideas do you have?
Well, I have tons of ideas, but it might be easier for you to tell me what you want to accomplish, and I can give you ideas on how to do that.
Okay, great. Let me give that some thought.